me take you somewhere, and there's something new. Why English is spoken so good. It's Diction Avenue, Diction Avenue. This is a word where English language is taught, the official language that everyone needs to learn. Set the right pronunciation and you use the right intonation. So express yourself. It's Diction Avenue, Diction Avenue.
Okay, welcome to the world with vision. They say a nation get perished without the vision. In Diction Avenue, we got a mission, vision to build tomorrow's future. Speak with good English is our culture. We got qualified teachers, good facilities to build confidence in our students. Don't be told, come witness a treasure you can't measure. Welcome to the world.
And there's something new. Why English is spoken so good. It's Diction Avenue, Diction Avenue.
Hello there, it's about that time of the day again, Saturday on Galaxy Television, where we come together to learn how to speak right, and sound English. My name is Abigail Anaba, your usual host on the show. Today on the show, we continue our expedition on the Avenue. Remember, we've been talking about tenses for the past couple of weeks, and today we are continuing that conversation. We are going to be talking about the present perfect continuous tense. Later on the show, we'll be having stories that teach. I'm sure you're going to learn something from that. We will also be having Ask Anything English. And on today's edition of Ask Anything English, we have 2 questions from viewers. Remember that you can always send in your questions all through the week on Ask Anything English, and we will find time to take the most interesting questions on the Avenue. So today we're going to take 2 of those questions from you, the viewers. But as usual, at the beginning of the show, we usually give out a question for you to participate in the show. And today is not going to be any different, as we will be, in just a bit, giving out our question of the day. So if you're ready with your phones, our question for today has to do with the topic we're taking, which is the present perfect continuous tense. And our question for today is, which of these 2 sentences is in the present perfect continuous tense? Which of the 2 sentences is in the present perfect continuous tense? Do you think it's A, the boy will be walking all day, or B, the boy has been walking all day? Which of these 2 sentences do you think is in the present perfect continuous tense? Well, send in your answer, and your correct answer should go to the number 0805 584 9525. That's the number right there on your screen. 0805 584 9525. Remember that you're supposed to be sending text messages only. No calls, just text message. Send your answer. Do not forget to include your name and where you're texting us from. And of course, at the end of the show, we'll be giving out the answer to our question of the day. And so right about now, we'll be moving straight on to our topic of the day. And as I said at the beginning of the show, today we will be continuing our conversation on tenses. If you remember, or if you recall, we did define what tenses are. And we talked about 2 things when it comes to tenses. We say tenses tell us what time. Tenses tell us what time an action takes place or is taking place. And they usually work with verbs. They work with verbs. So with tenses, we talk about 2 things, time and aspects. Those are the 2 things that we talk about when we say tenses. So the tense that you use in a sentence will tell you what time something takes place. And when we say aspect, is just another way of saying duration, which is how long the incident or the event we're talking about takes to take place. So when we talk about times, there are 3 times. And we've been talking about one of those 3 times. The 3 times are the present, the past, and the future. Those are the 3 times, and the 4 aspects. The 4 aspects are simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. So for each of the times, you have 4 aspects. So each time 4 durations, each time 4 durations, each time 4 durations. For the present tense, we have 4 durations. For the past, we have 4 durations. And for the future, we have 4 durations. So altogether, we have 12 tenses made up of 3 times and 4 durations. 3 times 4 is 12. And so today, we'll be talking about the present perfect continuous tense. Remember, we've talked about the simple present tense. We've talked about the present continuous tense. We've discussed last week the present perfect tense. And today we're talking about the present perfect continuous tense. So the present perfect continuous tense is used when you're discussing an action that started in the past but is continuing as the speaker is speaking. So you can see the difference between the simple present tense, which just tells you what's happening now, and it's happening as the speaker is speaking. But for the present perfect continuous tense, the action started in the past, but is continuing as we speak. And so I did a little a timeline, but before we get to that, let me just say that when you use the present perfect continuous tense, remember that in defining tense, we say tense helps you to understand people better. If a person uses the right tense when they're discussing with you, then it's easier for you to comprehend what they're saying than when they mix their tenses. If a person mixes the past tense and the present tense, or the present with the future tense, you might have a difficulty comprehending exactly what the person is saying. But even using different aspects, it gives a different connotation, if I may use that word, to our expressions. For instance, when you use the present perfect continuous tense, you use it to emphasize how much time has passed. Remember, we said something that started in the past but is continuing as you speak. So the emphasis is on how much time has passed. So when the present perfect continuous tense is used, you hear words such as since, all day, all morning, all night, or phrases like that. Also, the present perfect continuous tense conveys some mild irritation. And when we look at the sentences, you come to understand that when you make use of the present perfect tense, the person listening to you gets the feeling that you are mildly irritated or annoyed at either the subject or the person who the subject is acting on. So there's a timeline there, and I'm sure that will come up on your screen. We're looking at the timeline to explain the present perfect continuous tense. And as we said, the action begins in the past, and you can see the past going forward to now. So action started in the past, it's ongoing, and it continues going. So that gives you an understanding of how the present perfect continuous tense is used. An action that started in the past, but is ongoing as we speak. For instance, if I say, she started DICTION Avenue, I started DICTION Avenue like 15 minutes ago, and I'm still on it. If we want to explain this, we could use the present perfect continuous tense, and we would look at sentence examples in just a bit. But what are the words that you use to convey the present perfect continuous tense? Well, you have 3 major elements of the present perfect continuous tense. One of them is the auxiliary verb has or have, but then this auxiliary verb does not work alone. The auxiliary verb has or have plus been plus the root verb plus ing. So that's how you form it, is either has been or have been plus the root verb in the progressive. Remember that the verb form being is never used with has or have. So you never say has been with the ing or have been with the ing. No, you don't ever say that. I know a lot of people have issues with that, but no, you don't say that. So we go has been, root verb plus ing. So now let us take a look at some sentence examples. I'm sure you got a sneak peek into just a few moments ago when the slide flashed. So you have an example. There you go. He has been playing that song all day. He has been playing that song all day. When someone says that, you would sense some mild irritation. Ugh, he's been playing that song all day. Can he please stop? Right. So that means that he started playing the song in the past and the song is still ongoing. He's still playing the song as we speak. So the expression is has been playing. Has been playing. He has been playing that song all day. The next sentence has to do with Betty. Betty has been eating for as long as I can remember. You can just imagine you ask someone, where's Betty? She's eaten. And then 10, 20 minutes later, where's Betty? She's eaten. What? She has been eating for as long as I can remember. So there's some also mild irritation conveyed in that sentence. She started eating sometime in the past and is still eating even as we speak. Has been eaten. So you can see the present perfect continuous tense in action. Now we'll take one final sentence example. And this time, the sentence goes, you have been asking the wrong questions since this investigation began. He started asking the wrong question in the past and he's still asking the wrong questions now. You have been asking the wrong questions. Have been asking. That is the present perfect continuous tense. So as stated, the present perfect continuous tense is used for an action that started in the past but is ongoing as we speak. She has been teaching on Diction Avenue since 3 o'clock. So the action started and it's ongoing. So sometimes, like I said, you use it for something that's mildly irritating, but at other times, it may not be mildly irritating. So, do you want to improve your English speaking skills? Well, if you do, Ecom offers a 12-week Speak with Confidence course, which is completely online. If you want to know about this course, all you have to do is pick up your phone and send a WhatsApp message to 0805-584-9525 or 0806-128-2222. And with that, we will be taking a break. But just before we take that break, I'm going to recall our question of the day. So if you're just joining us, you still have an opportunity to answer our question of the day. And our question of the day has to do with tenses. The topic we took today, the present continuous tense. I'm sure that question is going to come up. You're going to see the question in just a bit. Which of these two sentences is in the present perfect continuous tense? Well, if you follow that lesson, it should be so easy for you to answer this question right now. Is it A, the boy will be walking all day, or B, the boy has been walking all day? Well, send your correct answer to the number 0805-584-9525. You can send a WhatsApp message, you can send a text message, but do not forget to include your name and where you're texting us from. And just about now, we are going to take a break for Stories That Teach. And I'm sure you're going to enjoy the story, and we'll take the lesson right after this break. Don't go away.
Sandy the Ant. Sandy the Ant was nothing like any of the other worker ants. While all the other ants got in formation and did their daily chores, Sandy would fall out of line and loaf. "Get up, Sandy," Wendy, his friend, called. "We need to go. It's almost sundown and you haven't done any work." Sandy stretched and yawned. "I'm so tired. I just want to sleep a little more." "No, we have to go now. Everyone has left us." Every day it was the same routine. Sandy would sleep, while the other ants worked, and Wendy would wake him at the end of the day. One day, something different happened. Wendy had a cold and had to sleep in. "Please don't fall asleep today," she begged Sandy. "I won't be there to help you." Sandy went off with the other ants. But as soon as they got to the work zone, he fell out of formation and went off to sleep. Before long, it became so windy that the ants could not work anymore. They held each other's hand and beat the wind. But no one woke Sandy. They didn't even know he was missing. The wind became stronger, and soon the rains came. The first drop hit Sandy smack on the head, and he woke up stunned. There was already a flood coming in. "Help!" he screamed, but no one heard him. The flood grew higher and higher until it swallowed Sandy the ant. The end.
Wasn't that a sad story? Now Sandy should have been awake. He should have listened to his friend. He shouldn't have fallen asleep when he should be working. He should have told someone if he wanted to fall asleep. There's several things that Sandy could have done that would have made the end different, maybe happier for him. And so I hope you've learned something from that story. Do not be lazy. Ants are not supposed to be lazy. Humans are not supposed to be lazy. We're supposed to work hard. And even if something happens and you have to fall asleep or anything, be sure to tell someone so that they can help you. So that's the story of Sandy the Ant. We are going to continue with Diction Avenue at this time, and we'll be looking at Ask Anything English. And as I said at the beginning of the show, we have 2 questions on Ask Anything English today. 2 very exciting questions, if I must say. The very first question comes from Olayinka Oluwatofumi from Alagbado, Lagos. And Olayinka's question has to do with adjectives. She says, how do we identify adjectives? I'm hoping Olayinka is a lady. For some reason, I'm thinking she's a lady. Well, if she's a lady or a guy, he or she. Right. So, how do we identify adjectives? Well, adjectives are words that we use in describing nouns or pronouns. So, with that, you should already know how you would identify an adjective. It will be a descriptive word. It will be a word that describes a noun or a pronoun. And I've taken like 3 sentence examples as to what adjectives are so that it will be easier for you to identify. Now you can listen to the sentences. She has a beautiful smile. She has a beautiful smile. Those are lovely shoes. He's wearing a red cap. What you notice about those 3 sentences is that there is a word in those sentences that describe the subject of the sentence. She has a beautiful smile. What kind of smile? A beautiful smile. So beautiful is describing the smile. Therefore, beautiful is the adjective. Those are lovely shoes. What kind of shoes? They are lovely shoes. So, lovely is an adjective qualifying the word shoes. He is wearing a red cap. What kind of cap? It's a red cap. And so red is an adjective qualifying the word cap. So for an adjective, for you to identify an adjective in a sentence, a good question to ask is what kind of, what type of, what. The question what is usually answered by an adjective or a descriptor, because that is what you expect to hear when you ask what type of or what kind of. You get the answer in descriptions. And so adjectives are descriptors, and that's how you identify them. So I hope, Olayinka, you have your question answered. Our second question comes from Rose from Ogun State. She says, please, which is correct? Go and lie down, go and lie her down, or go and lay her down. Well, I am going to preempt that the reason you asked this question is because most people, when they hear the word lie, they feel the past tense is lay. So when you say go and, go is a present tense, so they expect that it should be followed by a present tense. Well, here's the thing. Both the words lie and lay are both the present tense forms. They're both present tense forms. Lay is a present tense form, lie is a present tense form. They mean slightly different things, and we're going to look at what they mean. Well, the difference between lie and lay is that in lie, the subject is acting by itself or on itself, whereas in lay, the subject is acting on the object. If you check your dictionary, the meaning of lie is to be in or assume a horizontal position on a supporting surface, whereas to lay means to put something down gently or carefully. So with those two meanings, the correct answer to your question is go and lay her down and not go and lie her down. Don't forget, if you have any questions, you can always text us 0805-584-9525, or you can send a message to us on Facebook, Institute of Certified Communicators, or tweet at ecomng. Whichever you choose, it will get to us. And our time is almost about up, but we will be taking the answer to our question before we finally say goodbye. And remember, our question was on the present perfect continuous tense. The question we asked was, which of these two sentences is in the present perfect continuous tense? Is it A or is it B? So I'm going to try to take as many answers as possible. Well, let me quickly say that the correct answer to that question is B. The boy has been walking away, and that is what Shegun from Matogun, the very first correct answer. Well done, Shegun. This is Michael from Ikeja who gave us a wrong answer. Sorry, Michael. The answer is B. This is Joshua who also said the answer is A. No, the answer is B. This is Jussie Abel from Kebbi State with the correct answer to that question, which is B. Shadrach from Enugu says the answer is A, but no, it is B. My name is Joshua from Enugu. He says the answer is A, but no, it is B. This is Chris from Ikeja who says the answer is B. Yes, correct, Chris, the answer is B. The answer is the boy has been walking all day. You changed my walking to really? No, that's not correct. The answer is B. This is Richard Ayobami from Kogi State with a correct answer. Let me take Elijah Oyelowo from Dokpemu Ikeja, also with a correct answer. This is Innocent from Lagos. The answer is B. Yes, Innocent, you are right. Makonjuola Abdul Wasiu from Suleja, Niger State, also with a correct answer. That's just about all the time we can take on the Avenue today. It was fun talking about the present perfect continuous tense today, and I hope you enjoyed the lesson as much as I did. Next week, we're going to move to the past tense. Remember, we've concluded our conversations about the present tense. If you want to catch up on any of the lessons on the present tense, please search for ERI English on YouTube, and you'll get all the past episodes of the show, ERI English on YouTube. Until I come your way again next week, my name is Abigail Anaba. See you next week.